First of all, ew. Second of all, ew.
Guys, after seeing that clip, it should be clear as day that right now we're witnessing unseen levels of delusion, hysteria, and entitlement in the dating market. The checklist for men now goes on and on and on. Anyway, to avoid wasting your time in this video, I'm going to jump straight to the points. Here's 6 reasons why women's standards, particularly in terms of looks and height, are increasing every passing year to even more ridiculous levels. Number 1. Makeup causing a sense of false entitlement. Guys, I've seen this so many times before. In my experience, when women wear makeup, it's almost as if they think it turns them into a new person, and they totally forget where they came from. Exactly like the clip at the beginning showed. She's thought to herself before makeup, she's not really expecting guys' attention. However, after she puts on makeup, now she thinks she's above everyone and cannot settle for anything. All the guys who were previously on her level are deemed no longer worthy of a chance. In fact, they're all so far beneath her level that it'd be considered an insult if an unattractive guy dared approach. She thinks, can this man not see the amount of time, energy and effort I've put into remodelling my appearance? What makes him think he has a chance with me? Meanwhile, I'm there feeling sorry for the guy who's approached because in reality, there's no difference between the before and after. I mean, for the woman, her age is the same, so is her weight, she has the same height, body, she still has the same skin behind all the makeup, she has the exact same DNA. Nothing significant has changed. In fact, the only 2 things that noticeably have changed have actually gotten worse because 1, her personality has got worse as she's now got a chip on her shoulder if unattractive guys approach her, and 2, unbelievably, her physical appearance has also been made worse. I'm not being funny, but in the clip, I'd say before she's about maybe a 4 out of 10. Meanwhile after, she's more like a 3. There's way too much makeup. I wouldn't approach her in a bar or club, and I'd be embarrassed if any of you guys would. Anyway, that's the first reason why women's standards for looks and height are going up. If you've enjoyed what you've seen so far, be sure to press the like button and leave any initial thoughts in the comments below. Moving on to reason 2. Women's huge amount of options causing shallowness. Compared to 50 years ago, people's social circles are much bigger now, and I mean much bigger. Modern infrastructure has allowed huge transport systems to be put in place, which has pretty much put everyone within travelling distance of thousands if not millions of people. On top of this is separate from the online realm altogether, which has made connections with those people even more accessible. On platforms such as Instagram, most girls within my social circle have upwards of 1,000 followers, and this isn't even including all the other platforms. So the point is, previously, a woman's options would be limited massively to the handful of guys at her work or school. But now, she still has these things and she'll also be getting offers from the whole internet, which opens doors to whole cities. I see so many desperate guys out there. They're still using the same cringy, copy-paste pickup lines to hundreds of girls at a time. So what's the point? Why does it make a difference if guys do this? Why does it matter women have all these options now? And why has it caused women's standards to increase dramatically? Well, it all comes down to simple supply and demand. The higher something is in demand, the higher the price to be paid for it. And with respect to the dating market, that price increase usually translates to an increase in the standards women hold against men. A man now needs more value to be seen as date-worthy. The sky is the limit nowadays in terms of what a woman can set her standards, as there will always be plenty more thirsty guys waiting for her in the background. Secondly, this point is made even worse because these aggregate increases in standards are becoming more and more looks focused. No, not confidence, humour or personality. If a woman has 100 plus options, it'd be impossible to evaluate each and every one of them based on these factors. There simply isn't enough time in the world for a woman to take every one of her options out on a date. So instead, what's the fastest, most efficient way to narrow down these options? Easy. Get rid of people based on looks. Out goes anyone with a subpar face, sub 6 foot height, overweight, bald, and so on. Anyway, that's this point finished. Now moving on to reason number 3. The media inflating people's perceptions of attractiveness. Let's face it, all content created nowadays, especially that which is consumed by younger generations on platforms like TikTok, features only the best looking top 5 to 10% guys of attractiveness. If anyone watching this video has ever been on TikTok, you'll know it's filled with these hyped up e-boys that women go crazy over in the comments. And what proves how the main driving force behind this is looks and nothing else is the fact the vast majority of content on there has a grand total of 0 real talent. I'd say at least 90% of the content can be summarised by some music playing in the background accompanied with some cringy dance of some highly attractive guy. Anyway, the point I'm trying to get to is this kind of content that especially young women are consuming nowadays leads them to having massively inflated perceptions of attractiveness. They become accustomed to the well above average levels of attractiveness on TikTok, now believing it is the norm. So then, what ends up happening is when they compare what they're seeing online to the guys they see every day in real life, they're massively underwhelmed. Question: have you ever heard a woman say, "I can't believe how few guys I see on a daily basis who I find attractive. It's almost as if the majority of guys are below average"? Guys, I guarantee you would not be hearing this if social media didn't exist. This is why this reason is so important, because 50 years ago, there was no such thing as online content. So expectations of male attractiveness were far more realistic and in line with the general population. Bottom line, the media is inflating perceptions of average beauty by only showcasing the most attractive people of society. And this effect is only worsening over time as social media expands even more. Reason number 4. Non-looks factors are becoming less and less relevant in the dating market. Let's be honest, factors such as your status or money don't mean much anymore. People don't marry into class like they used to, and with the development of the modern world, most people aren't struggling for basic resources as much as they used to. Before, it made sense for women to chase after these things through relationships and marriage, but now they are much more accessible in our diverse economy. So, it only follows if the value of these factors mean less, the value of other factors will mean more. As a whole, technological advancement is promoting more and more looks emphasis in relationships. Guys, I've said it before and I'll say it again. Instagram won't show how good a boyfriend's personality is, but it will show how attractive he is. The data proves people are becoming more and more dependent on social media every day. In 2018, the average daily time spent on social media was 2 hours and 22 minutes. That number jumps up to 3 hours for the 16 to 24 age bracket. It's undeniable. For most people, there is now a huge reliance on external validation coming from social media. In my own experience talking to girls, it's almost at the point of obsession, talking about the number of likes, followers, and whatever else. So my question is, if a girl has invested so much into her social media accounts, and the stakes are so high, why would she risk dating any man average to below average in looks when the whole of her online reputation is at stake? I've seen it on social media before. Look at this online couple. They posted a video to TikTok, and if you turn to the comments, pretty much every single one is another person pointing out the massive disparity in looks. Some of these comments are insane. But what's more important is think of the change in perception the girlfriend will have on her boyfriend each and every time another one of those spiteful comments comes through. I find it extremely hard to believe she'll be waking up next to him each day thinking he's the highest value man she can get. Remember, women want to look up to their partner who not just she believes, but also everyone else believes is high value. The last point I'm going to make on this is to let this be a warning. If you're in a relationship with a girl right now who consistently posts to social media, it's clearly a big part of her life, however, she never posts pictures of you on any platform. If this is the case, then I'd be the first to say, she doesn't find you all that attractive, or she's worried about what other people may say about you. In my eyes, women won't post their boyfriend on social media if he's unattractive. But if he's attractive, she'll see him as something to be showed off. Anyway, next point. Reason number 5. I can't believe we haven't talked about this yet. Online dating. Online dating is all about looks. And I mean all about looks. It's all about looks, and it is also the number one way relationships form nowadays. If this isn't plain and simple proof that looks are becoming more important, I don't know what is. And what's more is that I've also noticed women's standards for looks are way, way higher in online dating than in real life. Here's a quick story that shows this. I've seen a woman who I would say was a little below average in looks, similar to this woman here, about a 4.5. I saw her making out with a guy who was maybe slightly above average, similar to this guy, about a 6. I saw them making out in a club, and no, he wasn't that tall either. Average height, like 5'10". Then, a couple days later, at some small scale party, I saw the same girl. And no, she wasn't getting with anyone here. Instead, I saw her swiping through Tinder. Now, I was a little intrigued at this point, so I peeked behind to see how she was swiping. And my god, I'd say for every one right swipe, she'd swipe left at least 30 or 40 of them. In fact, she was passing on guys who were way better looking than the guy she was with at the club a few days back. It's almost as if women's standards go into hyperdrive as soon as they log on to online dating. Anyway, that's the short story, and that's it for this reason on online dating. And if you want to hear more about why online dating is just about the worst thing you can sign up for as a man, make sure you check out my video from a couple months ago explaining 5 reasons it's to be avoided at all costs. This video was really popular and got a ton of views, so a link will be in the description below. Anyway, moving on to the final point. Reason number 6, delusion spreading. I've noticed recently this new trend where a woman and her friends will all encourage one another to hold ridiculously high standards that, mind you, none of them reach themselves, yet somehow they are all still justified. I hear things like, yeah, you deserve better, he's not good enough for you, you're a queen and you should be treated like one. Guys, the sheer amount of delusion when I hear things like this is baffling. And what's really striking is this delusion promoting has only happened recently. This is in stark contrast to the way relationships were viewed 50 years ago. Back then, there was a society-wide pressure for everyone to get a relationship and married at a young age, even if that meant having to compromise or settle. But now we're seeing the complete opposite, where friends are telling them to do anything but settle, that they deserve the world and everything in it, even if they bring next to nothing to the table themselves. Anyway, these are my 6 reasons why the bar for looks and height is only going to get set higher year after year. If you found these reasons important and want a completely objective, no BS answer to just whereabouts you stand and what your chances are in dating, then be sure to check out the first link in the description below, which will take you to my Fiverr page where I provide face ratings out of 10 using in-depth mathematical face analysis. Send me a message, I'll see you over there soon.